I mean, I would say like the key takeaways or the key lessons from that, sort of evolution are a fewfold. The first thing is that, we definitely need to move away from infrastructure and focus on, real value driving use cases.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, because we have some very interesting and detailed panel discussions and video clips for you guys confirming that banks are 110% coming to this space. I'm actually going to be kicking this video breakdown off with sharing a Citi document confirming that to be the case, that they're integrating crypto into the banking infrastructure. Then we're going to dive into a video clip and a panel discussion of a large financial institution representative going on to confirm that they are integrating and moving with the changing tides because they do not want to get left behind, which just confirms the perspective that once one large financial institution, which has already adopted crypto and invested into the digital asset space, does so, all of them are going to want to do so. And what that's going to lead towards over time is all of the traditional financial money that is sitting on TradFi rails being lifted and dropped into and on public blockchains. And that is going to be confirmed by reputable individuals in this space with many more credentials than I myself. So make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. Many blessings to you guys. Thank you so much for returning to the platform. If you're new here, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Make sure that you guys go back and watch some of the previous CYPRX video breakdown, so that way you're kind of in a loop with the detailed information that we share here on the platform. So with that being said, let's jump in. The first thing I want to share with you guys in today's video breakdown is this document that I posted on the X profile here from Citi. Okay, this was such an amazing find. Shout out to the CYPRX researchers for this one. So this Citi document goes on to confirm that they are integrating crypto into the core banking system. So here you can see this is from Citi. This is from October 2024. So it's not outdated. It's relatively speaking only a month old. And right here, there's a portion of this PDF that says, tokenization is likely to play a pivotal role as 24/7 money movement and real-time liquidity become the new normal. Look at that word right there, the new normal. Where have we heard that before?
Is dependent on the Hegelian dialectic, and that says that a crisis is created and a solution is posed, and the balance between the two then becomes the new normal. And the balance between the two then becomes the new normal, which is something that you never would have accepted. But now that there's a crisis, then you are forced or pressured to accept this new.
Across wholesale and retail cross-border payments, building on the momentum established in 2023, digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, commercial bank deposit tokens, and central bank digital currencies, are being further integrated into the global financial payment system, enhancing efficiency, reducing cost, improving the customer proposition, and arguably fostering financial inclusion. I mean, this is such a monumental find right here from the CYPRX researchers. You got to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, because most likely every single individual watching this, even the naysayers out there, don't have more credentials than individual reps at Citi who were most likely participants in writing this document. And here it is, devil's in the details. If you take everything out, stablecoins, CBDTs, CBDCs, and you just look at how it says right there, cryptocurrencies are being integrated into the global financial payment system. I mean, wow. Okay. So with that being said, here is a individual representative. I believe this is well, I don't know who this individual represents, but here you can see on stage, there's Asian Next representative, Euroclear, SBI Digital Markets, and a Chainlink representative. So he's from one of these large organizations outside of Chainlink. It's not a Chainlink representative. So just listen to what he has to say, because he goes on to confirm here in this little tiny, like 30-second video clip, that banks are integrating into this digital asset ecosystem because they don't want to fall behind. Take a second here and listen.
This will involve a lot more players and so-called the movers and shakers, right? Agora doing the same thing with cross-border payments. I think these serve to give what I call conviction to the markets that regulators are behind it, the technology works. These are being deployed in real-world cases, right? So in terms of market participants like us, we kind of look at these projects and pilots as something that we want to participate in as well, because we want to be actively involved in reshaping market structure, giving solutions that fit what the market wants, especially in how TradFis adopt blockchain, right, in that space. So we want to be part of it, so that we, not left out in terms of the solutioning. Yeah.
Tom?
Right. So you guys heard that directly from this individual. And who's he for? He's from, okay, so he's the rep right here. You can see from Asia Next. I don't know if I can zoom in for you guys so you can see. Okay. Again, an institutional participant in this space. Not only did he confirm that they want to be involved in reshaping market structure, which again confirms that they are revamping the entire financial system behind the scenes, integrating crypto, CBDC, stablecoins into the core banking system. But he also mentioned that regulators are behind this. Okay, you guys heard that straight from him. He also said that the technology works, which is such a phenomenal thing to hear, considering some of the mishaps that have taken place over the past couple of years in the digital asset ecosystem, albeit it wasn't technology related. Still, it's good to hear that. So moving on to this private public blockchain ideology, where there's a whole group of individuals in crypto that believe that trillions of dollars are never going to come flooding into public blockchains and then it's going to stay on private networks. I don't think that that's the case based off the research that I've done and based off of all the representatives in which I'm going to play for you guys here today. So sit back, relax. We're just going to take a second. I'm going to play some video clips. I'll eventually get to the point where I pause and talk in between, but just listen to the rhetoric here about this public-private blockchain dilemma and how the vast majority of participants in this space are actually leaning more so towards the ideology that public blockchains are going to be the ones that thrive and survive in the future. Not saying that private blockchains won't exist. They will to some extent. They will actually probably coexist in the future, and they are coexisting now. But for all the individuals that don't think that trillions of dollars are about to come flooding into or onto public blockchain networks, you got to do more research. So I'm going to provide some of that research here for you today, showing you guys some video clips of some reputable individuals in this space saying that to be the case. So just take a second here and listen. And we'll get to a point in 1 second where I'll pause and I'll talk through this. So just listen to what these individual reps on these panel discussions have to say.
Crypto native DeFi world, and it's starting to power applications within the private chain institutional world. And the end goal, I think, is really the merging of these two worlds together. So the ability to connect financial institutions and their existing infrastructure onto public infrastructure, public blockchain networks, and being able to bring the trillions of dollars in capital that they have locked into their system and onboarding those as tokens onto public blockchain ecosystems is the final convergence between those two ecosystems.
Assets because it's safe. Thirdly is the debate, private versus permissionless blockchains, which a few years ago always ended up being, well, we can just work with private permission networks where we control everything. And now I think public blockchains are really winning. People more and more realize, hey, this is just makes sense. It's more secure. It's ultimately the only way to scale, and that is a big win, I would say, for also how these institutions are thinking about it and how regulators are creating the frameworks that allow to operate with these blockchains.
So I really like this last statement. This is from the CEO of Signum, again, a very large institutional player in this space, confirming that public blockchains are winning. Now, the reason why I'm playing this for you guys is because I want to take you back over a year ago where I played this video clip of an individual representative from JP Morgan, Tyrone Lobin, where he said on the mainnet stage in 2023 that they are building out this ecosystem or building out portions of this ecosystem in order for them, once regulations are clear, in order to drag and drop the traditional financial system over into this new financial system, or private into public. And that's going to play such a significant role because as we progress through the rest of this video breakdown, I'm going to share with you guys, Christine Moy was sitting on a panel discussion at an updated mainnet 2024. Now, fast forward, this video was only from a month ago. And she is an ex-representative at JP Morgan. I'll show you her credentials in just 1 second. And she confirms not only are they attempting to build out the system in order to drag and drop, she literally says lift and drop, the same exact vocabulary, which is not a coincidence, okay? I don't believe in coincidences in the fact that two different people from, well, she's not working at JP Morgan anymore, but an ex-JP Morgan representative and a current JP Morgan representative utilize the same exact vocabulary, lift and drop the traditional system over into this new financial system, or private public blockchains, whatever okay. She says the same exact vocab. And then not only that, but she also confirms that she believes that private blockchains and public blockchains are going to coexist in the future, and that public blockchains will get a very large portion of the TradFi ecosystem. All right, so just take a second here and listen. We're going to first play this video clip from a year ago. Remember, okay, I don't believe in coincidences here. There's only 602 people on the earth that have watched this video breakdown. Listen to what Tyrone Lobet says about dragging and dropping TradFi over to this new financial system. Take a second here and listen.
And perspective of the transition from private institutional blockchains to maybe more public, or what you guys are using today. And Eric, I know you have really interesting opinions on where that's going to go in the future.
Yeah, and maybe I can just provide a little bit of context in terms of just the traditional financial services market and how we think about the requirements really to be able to operate a safe and sound system. So JP Morgan processes about $10 trillion of payments every day. That's 400 times the global stablecoin daily volume. The global FX market is about $5 trillion. And so when we think about utilizing blockchains as a settlement layer, we need the infrastructure to actually support these volumes, and we need them to support the scale that the traditional financial services market is at. So right now, clearly, there are a number of reasons, both technological wise, but also regulatory wise, as to why we have to use permissioned blockchains. However, you can think about these, globally ever-present, always up, highly redundant public blockchains as a really, really attractive settlement layer that can, service this global market. However, until we actually solve some of the key challenges, specifically around privacy, specifically around things like AML, KYC, it does become difficult for us to fully step into that environment. We did a project last year with the Monetary Authority of Singapore where we demonstrated what it would actually look like for a regulated institution like ourselves to utilize public DeFi protocols, to utilize public blockchains. And very clearly, there were lots of very insightful learnings for us. The transparency that you get around DeFi pools, for example, the ability to have anytime price discovery, through a DeFi protocol, very, very important and interesting. Also, the lower cost. But as I said, until we actually have some clarity around the ability to actually operate on this infrastructure from a reg perspective, we're going to have to be in this sort of permission view until we can take some of the hybrid steps. And those hybrid steps look like some of the existing infrastructure that is coming out right now. Around subnets or permission zones or these kinds of things. And from our perspective, the reason why we operate an EVM sidechain is so that everything that we build can actually be portable into a public environment. So all of our contracts are written in Solidity. We use ERC20s for the most part for our tokens. All of our developer tooling is utilizes the public Ethereum ecosystem's tooling set. So actually moving into the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
I love that he said that. I cannot believe that he said that on stage. And then let's fast forward. Okay, so you heard him say lift and drop scenario. That's why they're building it out this way. He also mentioned that once regulators are standing behind this technology, that's when they're going to be able to do this. And you guys remember from the beginning of this video clip, the individual representative from Asia Next, what did he say? Regulators are starting to be behind this. Again, this is all starting to come into fruition. I don't think people are really, truly ready for how much money is about to come on chain. You guys heard the JP Morgan representative just now say that they process $10 trillion freaking dollars a day. That is insane. That is insane. Imagine if even just $1 trillion of that money per day comes flooding into public blockchains, which I firmly believe in the near future, maybe over the next couple of years, that is going to be the case. But let's continue. So Christine Moy, here you guys can see her experience. She currently right now is head of global management at Apollo, which is an asset management company. She had 18 years of experience at JP Morgan. Okay, she was the global head of Metaverse, Web 2 and Web 3, and she also helped build Onyx by JP Morgan. All right, just to show you guys some of her credentials. So let's listen now, fast forwarding to mainnet 2024. This video was posted a month ago, only has 112 views. I'm literally showing you guys information that nobody is paying attention to. Okay. Listen to what she says, considering that she also worked at JP Morgan, compared to what Tyrone Lobin said and what every other individual that I've shown you in today's video breakdown has said so far. Listen to what she says. Pay attention to detail. This is massive.
Calendar, like we have to build a calendar onto a blockchain. A bond has a global holiday schedule. Like, there's the European holiday schedule and the US holiday schedule. We got to build the holiday schedules into this bond math. I mean, it was not until DeFi emerged, DeFi summer, where we realized, like, actually, been thinking about lifting and dropping our existing TradFi instruments onto blockchain. We've been thinking about lifting and dropping our existing TradFi instruments onto blockchain.
To the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
The second thing is, I think permissionless and permission blockchains will coexist. I think this is like controversial statement, but I used to be like the queen of permission blockchain, so I can say that. I think that there will be different use cases, different networks that will require permission or permissionless. I mean, a little known fact that I recently learned is, in the context of telecom, like think like, a telecom company like Verizon, there are, first of all, multiple different networks around the world, right? Like, when you go to Europe with your iPhone, like you're not using your Verizon network, you're using some like local European network. Your iPhone still works, like you have to pay for it, but like you're basically moving from one network to another. And then also for specialized use cases, like, for example, extremely secretive control communications in an NFL stadium, like that's a permission network as opposed to like a large permissionless like cell network. And so similarly, especially when it comes to transferring money, not just information, you're going to have some use cases that are more secure, more contained, more permissioned, and some that are more permissionless. And hopefully with all the different blockchain networking protocols that exist today, you're going to seamlessly travel from one to another, without some of the hokey wallet login, log out stuff that we have today.
Massive, absolutely massive. She pretty much just wrapped in a nutshell everything that I've shared with you in today's video breakdown. The example that she shared about public and private blockchains was monumental, just to put things into perspective for individuals that need things broken down in a more simple manner. I cannot stress enough, ladies and gentlemen, that now is the time to fixate your attention on what is happening behind the scenes and not be so fixated all the time on immediate price appreciation, because what is to come over the next, I'd say maybe 2 to 3 years, just looking out into the future, is going to be so massive that I think it's going to sweep a lot of people off their feet. They're lowballing themselves on what is about to happen. All right. So just make sure that you guys are doing your research. Again, keep your head down, stay focused, stay fixated on the future, do what's necessary in order for you to survive now, and then also positioning yourself for the long term so that way you have longevity and survivability in this space. As you guys heard, these financial institutions like AsiaNext, they're situating themselves in such a way right now in this market infrastructure in order to survive long term and not be left behind. You should be doing the same thing, not financial advice. As always, many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware out there. Don't forget that we have holiday discounts running right now. You guys can head over to CYPRXtrading.com and check those out if you guys are interested in joining our private community. As always, be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.